I can't afford a lawyer, but my spouse has filed for divorce, and my spouse does have a lawyer, but I can't afford one, but I need one because my spouse is lying. How do we solve this? So then what does it mean? That if we don't have money, if we are uh, talking about, we need to talk about a little bit better what is what are lawyers for. Of course, divorce is one of those conditions where you have a litigation about your situation, that you need to know your rights, and the lawyers are for that. And besides, the courts encourage the litigants to have a lawyers because, I mean, um, they cannot give legal advice, the courts themselves, and sometimes the situation with the divorce may be a little bit um, complicated. But uh, what is a divorce? Sometimes many people that I speak with confuse and conflate divorce and lawyers and divorce proceeding like the War of Roses, or the like Perry Mason, or some legal drama, Law and Order, where you need to bring evidence, you need to do this, you need to do that. This is not a criminal case. It's somebody who need to change their arrangements, their marital arrangements, and need to go to court to decide which are these arrangements from now on. Especially very important when you have children, but and a little bit less important, but still important when you are property that's in common. Say because you had this property in common, say because you by nature of marriage, you any property that you help building actively or just by support of being a good spouse, a good wife, a good husband, you have interest in that property. And we all know that, and we spoke about that a little bit longer, but in the past. But then you can't afford. So what are you going to do? You can afford a your husband or your wife is lying, and you need to feel some. I mean, to fulfill something, and you can afford. So what do you say? You stay with a lying spouse, or you with a cheater, with a cheating spouse, or with a spouse you don't know, or you give up any hope or love because you can't afford a lawyer. And so also bring me up to speed. If your husband can afford a lawyer, then so do you, because you share the same finances when you are married. Otherwise, what the heck people marry at all? So I'm doing this video, and this is live, so bear with me because it could be a little bit more natural speaking. I cannot cut, pauses and filler words and digressions, so it will be more natural. But because I want really to do this fast, because I want to address the question of a conversation that I'm having still in programs, a text conversation with a woman who is divorcing, and this is will not breach any privacy because I'm not telling the name and where she's from. So it's general. I'm gonna speak in general, and I hope she's listening to this, or she will listen to this. But I'm speaking general, and I still need my coffee because I really don't have. I'm not taking my allergy medicine, so my brain could be also a bit fucked. She's divorcing. She claims she has a lawyer, but she cannot afford them, so it means that she doesn't have a lawyer. She just has a name of a lawyer that she can use, but she can't afford it. So I mean, you should charge the lawyer on your husband bank account or debit card, because you should have a common checking account at this point, or you should ask the lawyer how you can have, because by law in most states you are entitled to use marital fund. Marital fund means, I mean, I don't know if I need to explain this stuff because I come from romance. I speak a romance language, so some of this word comes from Latin, so they're familiar to me, even if we don't explain. I don't know if this needs to be explained. But marital funds, when you are wed with somebody, then your money is their money, your money. So there is a really hard way to make a pre-agreement that's called prenup, where you really split this finance. But some of the finances, especially when it comes to legal expenses, you are entitled to have if you don't make money because you don't work, because you're a stay-home wife, or you are less money, or because you are being recently fired or laid off, and so you don't have access to money, you still can use this money. But I mean, I don't want to push you to spend needless money for lawyers. And you may have learned about me that I don't love lawyers, especially in family court. Not that I don't love because I want to bash them in any way, shape, or form, but because I say that people confuse the reason why we need lawyers in the first place in this kind of asset. But I want to tell you something more about this case we're talking about, which is common in many cases. Every divorce is different, every love and relationship is different, so there could be some difference, but the background could be similar to many of you, where you think that your husband, and this can be, we can reverse the law. Your husband is a liar. Then you don't divorce, but at a given point he files for divorce using the service of a lawyer, and say, okay, I'm not surprised, I'm not mad that he's filing a divorce because he's mad, but what you waiting for? Probably you were waiting for many years before they before they took the steps for you. And then they took the steps and they have all the advantage because they have a lawyer, you don't. So you didn't prepare. Now, how did you come to this situation? This particular person also says that needed the lawyers for divorce, but also because there is a custody. And this man, this husband, already took temporary custody of the two younger children of the couple. And so how this happen? The first place, I mean, you need a lawyer, don't need a lawyer, we need to solve this. I want to help you. Let me know if you think that I can do something for you. Or you already talk with somebody, or you already know everything about it. But we need to solve the situation. But before getting there, how did we get in this situation? Sometimes it matters, sometimes it don't matter, because we need to solve the situation going forward. But we also need to avoid that we make more mistakes the way that we made the mistake before. So how we did in this situation where a mother lose temporary custody of the young children because the husband that you claim is a liar is lying. So it's not easy that a husband take children away from the mother. It's harder to take the custody away even from father, although this is more common, happens, and happens sometimes in a shady way, where the wife claiming divorce, domestic violence, kick the husband out of the house, or force or tricks the husband to go out of the house. And at that point, the husband will be hard for him to see the children lacking a court order or lacking other law enforcement decision. Now, how did the mother lose the temporary custody? I don't know. Were you too aggressive? Were you too, I don't know. It's not like, I can imagine a mother being more working a lot, but then you have money if you work a lot. If you don't work a lot, so what would happen? There something that we will figure out. There something that you're not telling me yet, because I mean we haven't been talking this long. I'm not accusing you that of hiding stuff. So when you need help and when you come across me in Facebook, just don't drop this, okay, now this is what I need a lawyer, but I can't afford. That's it. No, try to. I'm offering a free overview of your situation. This is not gonna be lawyer legal advice, psychological advice, clinical advice. We're just chit chatting, but just trying to put you in, not to put in the right direction, because this is not would be ethical in Facebook or in text, private texting, doing this stuff without hiring, without contracts. Will not be ethical. Will not be also smart from my side. But at least tell you that there are other directions that you may have already considered, or you not considering. You're going straight to a lawyer, getting ready or getting tricked to pay $10,000 of retainer, and then go down in a rabbit hole of he said, she said, and not going anywhere. So how did you get in this situation? So you know that your husband is lying. He lies. Is not. I don't think that he came out of the blue that he took these children temporarily from you, and you don't have money. Why you didn't open a joint account? Why did you start putting some funds on your credit card? Why you waited so long? And I don't blaming you. I don't blaming people that get in the situation. And because I know where you are in a situation, your husband is making demands on the marriage, or is just disregarding the marriage by doing, I don't know, but this nights or gambling or working or talking with the female co-workers, managers. You get in this situation, try to, I'm not saying that I don't want to divorce because it's complicated, it's expensive. Sooner or later they're gonna do it. You are unhappy during the time that you're not doing anything, but at least prepare. People, prepare when you're doing where you are not a happy marriage. Prepare doesn't mean that you need to execute, but at least put some money aside. Open a, and get authorized on one of his credit cards, or get him authorized on your credit card, so that he will, if you say that you pay the lawyers with a credit card, assuming that you have enough line of credit. But if middle class person, combine, you have that kind of amount of could have a $4,000-5,000 of a credit line. Pay the bill, the retainer, the deposit of the lawyer on the credit card, and then the providence will figure out how to repay this credit card. You pay the minimum amount, but then if your spouse, your husband, is also authorized user, and you give authorized use, because there are several levels. One that he's co-responsible for the payment. Not only your credit score will go down, but also there will go down, so they will be forced at least to cover the credit card for the first time. But also, you can just really pay the minimum as long as you settle this divorce, and then you decide to pay with some interest rate. So you will get some money aside, get a credit card, put the other person as a co-signer on your credit card, do a joint account, so you have the fund to prepare. Whether you then get the strength to actually file for divorce, or you want to wait and wait and wait and wait for them to do. In many cases, this is not your case, but I know many cases that the wait for the other spouse to divorce, especially when they keep getting, I'm gonna divorce you, and then some people comes to me, why they don't start a divorce? Of course they don't start, because if you're the breadwinner, or you bring enough money, or you are raising their children, they're not gonna divorce. They're just telling you to force you into obey to them, or they're just mean and they just want to be in the anguish of being not loved. So they just, I mean, there are people, really, there are sick people that want to know that you're suffering somewhere. So, and as I was saying, I don't know if, live, it's a little bit more natural stream of consciousness. I don't know if you prefer this way to have your information, or you prefer that I record, check, make a second take, and then it get back quicker to the point. This situation, I don't blame you if you're in a situation that you didn't prepare. I don't want to bash you. I just want to want that your story help many other people that are about to get in the point that you are getting into. And let's also use this situation to say, okay, now we need to act, not just passively wait. Okay, how are the bottom line? I don't blame you, because when you are in a situation where your husband or you, for some other reason, are going through depression, to confusion, and through bad girlfriend, because let's be honest, girlfriends these days are doing. Thank you for the likes for the people that are watching right now. Girlfriends, in a good way, let's say, with good intention, they give bad advice. They think that teaming up against men is gonna solve your situation. They mention that your husband is evil, is raping you, is doing something bad to you, is abusing you in some emotional or less emotional way, and so you should not trust them. And then he see that you are aggressive or you are hostile, and so he's treating you bad. He's on the defensive. He's deny everything. Then you say he's lying because he's denying. Probably it's true. That you exaggerated. He did something that was not idea, but you're exaggerating, and he denies. So we should not exaggerate what other people, we think that other people do, because either they're not doing it, they're not doing this stuff, or they're doing something that for them is normal or borderline normal. For you, it's completely wrong. But if you over accuse them, they will defend. I'm not doing that. If you're doing something, I will deny also that I'm doing this particular stuff. This is to say, so sometimes girlfriend provoke their friends thinking that they're part of the same thing, but they're pushing a litigation instead of being peaceful. Now, if your husband or your wife, again, we can reverse the roles, are so bad, we need to know that I'm not proposing or advocating for you to stay married. After all, my job description is divorce coach, but also we don't need to exaggerate. This is to say, at a given point, we want to. Thank you for having a snack with me. We need also to understand that even if we need to go through divorce, again, I'm going back to the lawyer's role, we don't want to make a war with our divorcee, soon to be ex. We want to be, for our point of view, we want to be in a situation where we are, not hostile, not mad, not making a decision from a point of view of being, aggressive. We don't want to be mad, because we want to have a clear state of mind, not making decision out of anger. But also we want to be decent to the other person. They won't be decent eventually, or they will be scared, or they will be something that will. But that doesn't mean that we need to be like them. We accuse them of being mean. We accuse them of lying. We won't lie, but we also sometimes make. Not that we make up story, but we exaggerate story, or give stories more importance of what they need, or give stories that we believes they might be true, may be not true, but that don't matter with the divorce. So, for example, this person is claiming that he's lying about the child custody and was able to get the temporary custody of the children, two of their children, the younger one. I don't know if the olders, they are already adults, that's why nothing happened to them. But sometimes I don't know. But if he's lying, then we want to have a lawyer, so he's lying. And then we hire a lawyer for divorce. No, we need to hire a lawyer to counteract their lies. So at this point, you don't need to sue this person for a divorce. A divorce is a civil action, technically. It's a lawsuit. We don't need to sue this person for the divorce. We need to sue this person for defamation, probably. Does this help your case in any way? If it does, everybody, put in the comments why, if I have a lying spouse, what counts for me, what benefit I have to address their lies, other than just to deny what you have done, what they claim that you have done, to deny that. So, if he spread bad rumors, it's more likely that that will help you in a defamation case, and the defamation is not that somebody say something stupid and you can sue them. No, they need to say something stupid and have malice toward saying to this, and you need to have a damage from them. If they say something stupid because they're evil, but the only damage is that that you're pissed off. Most of the time, this does give you any benefit. It will give any benefit if, because of their lies, you lost the custody of your children, or it costed you money. It costed you money to solve this situation, and then you can sue them for defamation because you have this damage, and you have irreparable damage also for the children. So, but this is very complicated, and then the lawyers for defamation will cost much more than a lawyer for divorce. And I want to tell, where I come from, lawyers are much cheaper. They're not cheap, but they're much cheaper. I don't know, because there are more lawyers, which I don't think is the case. But there are more lawyers. There are many lawyers in the country that statistically it's one of the countries with the most lawyers. But also in the US, in America, there is not a lack of lawyers. There is a lack of other stuff, but not actually lawyers. But it's a market law, a law of the free market, where the more demands there is, the more expensive these lawyers get. So we need to stop to litigate every single because what is the point? Now, again, for you, for the person that is under this situation, we're going to talk privately about this stuff a little bit more. And for the other ones that are not at that point, but are in a situation where, okay, my husband lies and he's threatening to take the children away, I probably need to, for my sanity, I need to divorce this lawyer. Be prepared. And I cannot give all the advice right here. Don't be single-minded, one-track minded that you need a lawyer to do that. Take some time to educate yourself, YouTube, Facebook, YouTube especially, and some your court website, the court of your county court website, and get some initial information. You don't need to read all the code of divorce. Sometimes it helps, because some codes, for example, in New Jersey, is not a big. I also went through the Georgia and few other states, like probably 20-30 pages, less than that, probably 20 pages, and a lot of new lines, so a lot of white blank space in between, empty space in the pages. So it's something that you can read. You read it twice, 3 times, you make the connection. The link to this article here refers to the article before the law. So you're gonna figure out, at least to understand what you can achieve in the court of law, because even if you have lawyers, 90% of the time you don't want to go to court because it's gonna take too much time, and the judge will rule with a summary situation anyway, and will cost even more because the lawyer already spent a lot of time, billable time, that will cost money to get to the lawyer. When then the trial starts, then we'll ask for more money because they can physically come in court, waiting room. And say that your court hearing for the trial is at between 9 and 11 o'clock, and it starts at 10. So the lawyers show up at 8. Then wait 2 hours just for when it's your turn, and then things delayed. So you're scheduled to start at 10, and you start at 11. There will be 3 hours, and then the trial itself, 30 minutes, 1 hour. Then you have some briefing after the trial, 5 hours in court, $400 for 5 hours is $2,000 only for the day of the trial, let alone the preparation. So just to go to the trial is $10,000 extra that you don't want to do, and most people don't go to trial. Or the smart way to go to trial is not to prepare at all, because, and before starting this video, I would put this tagline at the beginning of the video: lawyers rarely move the needles of the divorce outcome. If the judge or the condition have decided you will lose the custody of the children, you will. It's not the lawyer who will do anyway, because the other lawyer is as smart as your lawyer, and so it's smart to counteract your situation. So what is going to happen is the same that you both didn't have a lawyer at all. If they lie, you can demonstrate their lie with a few receipts anyway, if you can keep the cool. Because again, say, okay, but I cannot keep the cool on the stand when they call me to witness, to give my testimony. I cannot. But when you have the lawyer, what do you think? You're gonna go to the stand anyway. You're gonna F up because you're too, anxious in front of the judge, and you will F up. So with the lawyer, you will F up if you are set up. You're being set up. You'll do it anyway. So at least save the money of the lawyer. This is not legal advice. Don't ditch. Don't fire your lawyer. Don't avoid the hiring lawyer. Say Franco told me. This is, when you watch this video, is always that it counts that I have the terms of service on my website, divorceroad.com. Scroll down and click terms of service. This is not legal advice. We are only chit-chatting, and so you're not doing this. You cannot sue me for damage because just you listen to this web, this live, or any of my contribution, because nowhere I said I'm a lawyer, nowhere I said that I'm your attorney or your defender. So this is not legal advice. You do your research, or then we get together, we do a contract, and we set the limits and see how I can help you. But then you decide. I just want to give you again the idea that there are some extra direction that you are not thinking, because now you are too much in a rush to respond to your divorce. Some people may need a lawyer, some other people may not need a lawyer, some other people are in a mix, some other people need to save their marriage, some other people need to run away from the house because there are many roads that you need to consider. And again, you need to get prepared. I can help you with also the preparation when we work together. Depends on the situation that you are. Usually, again, try to call me before you get, the s, the sweet honey hit the fan. And let's try to get prepared, not to call together. Okay, I need a divorce. Let's call Coach Frank, who is a divorce coach. But let's call Frank to get at least a few weeks of preparation. Finance, set money aside, how to get access to funds that your husband tells that you don't have access to, how to have a backup plan if you need to work out the house, how not to not abandon, but lose contact with the house, then they will change the key locks and you cannot go back into your house. Let's start a little bit early, because sometimes, and again, I don't want to feel mean. It's not your fault. It's a lot of stress when you are in a stressful marriage. I've been through there. I know how it feels. The reason why you deserve to be divorced is because you were not prepared enough. You were not giving enough importance of your safety during the divorce in the first place. So yeah, this is it. So again, I don't want to blame you. I just want to tell you, okay, let's change course and let's start to understand that you are important, that you need to do something for yourself. You can do it. Don't take the help of angry girlfriends, and don't take the help of expensive lawyer. Try to educate yourself. It gets difficult. Come through me. It will be cheaper, not much cheaper. I mean, it's you need to invest in yourself, but it will give you skills that will help you for preparation for divorce, but also for your life, to avoid the people walk all over you. Okay, I think I thank you for joining with me for my breakfast. I mean, you can cut it off the feeds right now. I'm just saying the you know the saying bye. Thank you again. But yeah, thank you for staying with me to have snack with me after church. I feel better. The coffee helped, because I mean, even if it's 12 in the morning, the first coffee was fading out. And then it was a long day yesterday, so I slept okay, but I woke up a little bit with need for some caffeine. Follow me on my other channel on YouTube here and contact me directly as you need, as you don't need to, because don't call me when it's too late. I can still help you, but the chance of success depends how do you define success at that point. Chances of success will be a little bit lower, but the outcome will be worse, as you know, if we don't start doing what we need to do. So thank you for people that are watching. Thank you to the people that will watch the replay and for the likes. I'll see you soon, and I wish you all the best. I don't know. I'm still on. Stop raining. Let me share with you a little bit of fall in New Jersey, the lovely town of. Now, if I open the window, It's raining though. So, last sip of coffee, and then I'll let you go. I know that you're ready. Let me go. Minutes ago.